welcome to, in a nutshell, 7th birthday. Today topic we are going to talk about how to revive and recover our island economy that has been destroyed by the war for the last 7 years, which is mostly depend on oil revenue and oil production. Oil production, actually, we know that it has been disrupted mostly by the war, and that's why our economy became weak and weaker, and we're facing a lot. We've been facing a lot. If it wasn't for the loans growing the government was conducting throughout the years, the production, the oil production, which is the backbone of the economy of the government revenue, was mostly shut down. So now we know that we did not have that much time building production's capacity for South Sudan, except for the oil that we already found was running and was producing when we split from Sudan. So we did not have much time, or the leadership did not have just only 3 years to build production capacity like agriculture, revolutionizing the agriculture sectors, and other production like minerals, industrializations of, using the oil revenue to create different production sectors. So to diverse the economy, so we have a strong economy. We have a lot of resources that can be utilized to build a strong economy. I know the oil is right now the major production sector, but even though I do believe also that South Sudan, other regions are really, they might have oil, and it will be good also that we explore some other regions, other minerals, and others, So now, if we have to build a strong economy, if the oil productions went back to full production capacity, that revenue, the oil money, the petrodollar need to be effectively or efficiently invested in creating different production sectors, and especially agriculture. I do believe we have a vast land, fertile land for agriculture productions, and that is really very, very important. So we just need to introduce machine and technology to increase production's capacity to the level of exportation to neighboring countries or even to international market. So by introducing machinery and technology, South Sudan can feed not just only itself, it will feed the region and behind the region. So this is one thing that the government of national unity, the current one, should focus on. That when people are really having sufficient food and all this and working for, you know, you will be working for security and peace, and people will be just minding their business, minding their lives, you know. So it is the responsibility of our national government to revolutionize productions by creating a diverse production sectors that will fall into national economy with great revenue. So we've been experiencing something really negative since Sudan, that the employees or the government or government employees, which mostly most South Sudanese, they work for government, which is the trend currently. So people rely on government salaries, and it's been a long trend that the salaries are not paid on time. Sometimes it take even years. People, they don't get paid. So just imagine, this is really one thing, one horrible experience that the Sudanese and South Sudanese has been through. That is based on ineffective government policy in terms of production, in terms of generating revenue, enough revenue to be able to spend for its employees and development projects and all kind of. If the government is more effective, it will not just only pay her employees on time. It will create new projects, development projects. It will have a budget that covers a lot. So paying employees should be the simplest thing that any effective government can do. I mean on time, not just only. So people are frustrated with that, and it's a very miserable experience. So now, to be a government, if you cannot pay your employees, you are not a government. You are not. You have to be mindful about paying your employees, and because those employees, they have families, they have demand, they have needs, and they must be met. So I think this is one important thing. So here, it's just like anyone else. How do you feed your family? You think about how do you feed your family? You pay your deal, your bills, and all this. It's just like the same with how government works. The government must plan and must strategize for how it's going to pay our employees, not just only for this month, for the next 3-5 years. So this is something that must change in our independent South Sudan. That if we are going to be any different of the old Sudan. So now, that means that the government have to work effectively to create revenue, generate revenue that are enough for all that. And that means that you have to think about producing products or services that will generate enough money, taxation and export, all this. So it's got to be a very smart government. For you know, if you are smart, you will even have a surplus of revenue. So you will be more than enough sufficient. So in South Sudan, we have, if you see the population versus resources, you see, you will see that South Sudan has, a small population when it comes to, a relatively small population when it comes to population versus resources. But you have to effectively revolutionize the economy. In terms of productions, in terms of investment, in terms of diversity, in terms of effectiveness, in terms of performance, all those. So you create revenue, you create surplus, you go from a stage of defending to loans and being short of your budget, being short of paying for projects, paying for employees. So you will be much better. So here, this must be tackled in a very effective way if you want to see change in South Sudan. The other thing is private sector. Private sector is really very important in the new economy. It's actually the leading engine of revenue. Generating revenue to any country that is looking for a stronger economy. So I know that South Sudanese mostly they are not business-minded. They are not business-minded. They believe that working in government is the best thing because of many things. People want, this is the perceptions that we came with, but that perception can be changed. Like I said before, that we need to re-engineer our way of thinking in a way that can benefit, can change our society, can change our nation in a good way. We have to drop some beliefs and some concepts that are unproductive, and we re-engineer them. And this is a work of leadership, work of intellectual work of many institutions. So we have to create that business-minded set that will change the perception that the government is everything. No. If you are really looking for fulfillment and success in terms of personal and in terms of even national and private sector is where real success is. In terms of personal, in terms of national economy, or even state, local economy, because private sector is the engine of production. If you are producing, others also will be producing different, diverse products or diverse services that will create competition, will create innovation, and the government will just regulate and supervise and provide security and environment of fair competition. So if you see in US here, like big companies like tech companies like Microsoft, like Apple, like all these kind, those they are actually the leader of innovation, of the economic growth and of economic prosperity, because they create revenue for government. They create jobs. They create diverse products. They generate innovations, continuous innovations through competitions in, in, in a good way. So you see the ideas get renewed, the idea, I mean, like the inventions and all these things, it's just something continuous. So here, our leader must emphasize on creating a strong private sector. That is, you can use even the petrodollars in encouraging young people or businesses you support small businesses, give them incentive and all that. So you create private sector that will generate taxes. That taxes also use a government revenue. So smart government must be working really effectively just for things to fall in place. Also, you need to create a working, effective public sector that is stable. I mean, you don't have to involve politics and nepotism on that, but it have to be based on qualification. Have to be based on the interests of the nation. I mean, have to be through and out of tribalism, because if you have a strong public administration or public service, you actually have the foundation of the country. Quality is something the country depends on public service mostly. It's about public service, qualified, well-educated, skilled, and all this. So this is one thing that will make our country stronger and our nation more prosperous. So thank you.